This is the Hasselblad Stellar in 2022. It is expensive, limited, and a conversation starter. Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. Today another camera series where we talk about one of the most expensive 1-inch point-and-shoot camera from Hasselblad, the Stellar. This camera is actually 7 years old, and the original price of this camera is around $2,500 to $3,500 before. It now retails at $999 in B&H Photo, but I actually get this even cheaper, half of the price. Now there's so many upsides of this camera given the brand. If you search internet right now, the top 10 most expensive cameras, Leica and Hasselblad will dominate it. That's why you see their names in the back of the smartphones, because the brand alone increases the value of the device. Do they create anything special on the smartphone? I don't think so, but it creates that false impression that what you have is great. Well, to be fair with the camera makers, yeah, they actually calibrate the smartphone cameras really well, but changing it to something special, no. So, what is this Hasselblad Stellar? It is a Sony RX100 Mark I rebranded to Hasselblad Stellar. It is like Panasonic LX100 rebranded to Leica Deluxe, and suddenly the price went up because of the brand. And if you hold this camera longer, the value of this camera may increase over time. This is the same idea and business model as the Stellar. The rebranded RX100 is a good and solid camera from Sony, one of the best 1-inch sensor point-and-shoot that was ever made, and even the quality of RX100 Mark VII or the ZV-1 resembles a lot like the original RX100 Mark I. The sensor of the newer RX100 may have been upgraded to push higher ISO with low noise, but it is still 1-inch and will produce the same photos and videos pretty much. What we have that other RX100 Mark I owner don't is the brand, the packaging, and the value. Let's say 10 to 15 years from now, if we maintain the great condition of this camera, this can be sold twice or 3 times of what it's worth. It is limited, and people who love cameras and wants to collect all Hasselblad cameras or the top brands may find this really good because of what it can offer, an excellent image quality. Let's quickly look at the specs for you to see how good this camera is. It has 20.2 megapixel 1-inch Eximor CMOS sensor, a Zeiss Variosonar f1.8 to 4.9 lens, 28 to 100 mm 35 equivalent, full HD video recording at 60 FPS. It has optical image stabilization, ISO 6410 frames per second, manual controlling, and PASM settings. And it comes with wooden camera box and Italian leather wrist and shoulder straps. Imagine you're walking on the streets of New York, Hong Kong, or Japan, or anywhere on your trip. This is the one camera that you want to slung on your shoulder. This is the camera that will make people stop and stare with jealous eyes as you walk on by. This is actually the exact word that is posted on B&H Photo. You are holding a piece of camera that performs really good and at the same time a top brand that maybe only 0.0000001 already have or new. If you search YouTube, you won't even see many reviews of this camera. Because I think only an idiot like me will buy this. Remember, I only bought this for a fraction of what it's worth. It is sold $3,500 before, and people bought that. And these people are not mainstream consumers that buy the best camera price to performance. We bought this because we are proud owners of a limited camera, and that's it. A great collector's item. Let's talk about the design quickly. The difference between this camera and RX100 Mark I are 3 things: the color, the wooden grip, and the Hasselblad logo. That's it. The wooden grip sits perfectly with your fingers. The color pops out. I have the metallic silver. I know there's an orange that looks pretty striking. And the Hasselblad logo, which is probably 99.9% of the people don't know unless you are a camera enthusiast like me. The settings is so familiar for anyone who held a Sony camera before. I used the Sony Alpha series, the RX series, and even the WX series, and it is familiar. Let's start with the Sony ZV-1. This is the video quality and the audio quality of this camera. And this is the Canon G7X Mark III. This is the video quality and the sound quality of this camera. And lastly, although I don't see myself, this is handheld. This is the audio and video quality of the Hasselblad Stellar. Is this a good enough vlogging camera? So what is Gadget Rev Now's verdict? The Hasselblad Stellar in 2022. Life is all about choices. Some would prefer to get most out of their hard-earned money, and some will buy expensive things because it makes them feel good. And the value of this camera increases over time. This thing creates a demand for collectors. The Hasselblad Stellar is expensive, not for everyone. It is luxurious, perfect for anyone who wants to brag their expensive camera investment, and definitely a conversation starter. It is limited, unknown, but the logo is really popular. You will gain attention for it for sure, and you might be able to sell it better in the future. It is a limited collector's item, and a good camera overall. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.